Understanding this one key concept changed my training completely, and it will for yours too. There's endless methods, opinions, and complexity when it comes to working out how to train, but understanding fundamental physiology helps you sort through the mess and find out what works and why. Motor unit recruitment is one of the biggest pieces of this puzzle in my opinion. Don't get scared off by the technical sounding name because the actual definition is actually pretty simple, and once you've got that, I'll explain how to use it to transform the way you train. Everyone knows that muscles are made up of fibres, but these fibres are sorted into little bundles, and together these bundles make up the entire muscle. These bundles of fibres are all connected to the brain, and each bundle is called a motor unit. Some of these bundles are smaller, but some of these bundles are much bigger than the other bundles, and that's not just because the bundles are made up of more fibres, but they're also made up of more of those fast twitch fibres, which are the biggest and strongest muscle fibres you've got. Whenever you use a muscle, your brain always starts with the smallest bundles first, and then as you meet resistance, it starts to add or recruit bigger and bigger bundles and fibres until eventually you've got enough strength to actually do the task you're trying to do. If you want to grow your biggest, strongest fibres, you need to make the task hard enough that you force your brain to actually use these biggest, strongest fibres. If you don't, you never use these fibres, and a fibre that never gets used never ever grows. So pushing an exercise close to failure, ideally within that 0 to 3 rep range, will always add more of these motor units and recruit more of these bigger, stronger fibres, meaning it's going to be more effective at building muscle and building strength. However, the complications come in here. Certain things can make it literally impossible to use those bigger, stronger fibres and bundles no matter how hard you push the exercise. When you're trying to use lots of muscle at the same time, like in a big compound movement, when coordination or stability becomes more challenging, or when you've got any existing soreness or fatigue from previous sets or previous workouts, your brain will actually reduce the strength of the signals that it's sending to any one muscle. As soon as that signal strength drops, you start to lose activation in those biggest motor units. To make sure you train these biggest, strongest fibres, you're going to want to give your brain the chance to actually activate these as best as possible. Keeping your rest times high between sets so that your performance barely drops from set to set makes sure that your brain always feels ready to activate as many of those big, powerful fibres as possible. Include some stable exercises that don't require much coordination or balance, and ideally isolate some of your target muscles without involving a lot of others. And these are the sets that you want to actually push close to failure, because they're not just going to be the safer ones to do so, but they're going to be the ones that let you efficiently get better at high-level motor unit recruitment and ensure that those fibres get some good growth. Overtraining is the silent killer. Even when you feel like you're relatively fresh, your brain will perceive that fatigue that you're not even consciously aware of and will start to pull back and limit power output whether you like it or not. Track your training closely and make sure that you're making steady progress and that you're not losing too much performance within the workout from set to set, as those are some of the best indicators that you're actually putting this together effectively. And if you want to see how I put this concept along with a whole lot of others into practice within an actual workout, check out this video.